Hey ho, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have The Muppet Show. This is the classic, 1976 through 1981, 5 seasons series. I want to call it a spin off from Sesame Street, but that wouldn't be fully accurate. But it's made by the same people. It's the Jim Henson Company. Each of the episodes are about a half an hour long, almost, commercials back in the day. About 27 minutes long on average. And I had a nice lazy Sunday and I decided to watch 5 episodes, not my normal 1 or 2. This has been one of my forming type of television shows since I was a kid. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of these episodes since they first aired. I said yesterday that I owned the DVD some of the seasons because they never released all of the seasons. I think they only released like the first 3, but I had the first one for sure, and I was just waiting for that Star Wars episode, and of course that only came out in season 4. That only happened in season 4. Season 4. Uh, but here now it's on Disney Plus. Warning: not every single thing, not every single episode, and not every episode is fully complete. There are certain things that I guess, depending on where you're watching it, in the UK or other countries in relation to the US, some episodes don't have certain performances due to music rights and things like that. But there's also certain full episodes that are gone due to certain controversial people, guests that they're just not going to put out an episode with that actor. And I can't remember who that was because there are a lot of, I don't want to say forgotten, but there's also a lot of just classic, also actors that have no, I shouldn't say no, but don't exist today. Yeah, like there's nobody who's 20 years old these days who knows who probably 80% of these actors are, because a lot of them were like, yes, this is the mid 70s. This was made in the mid 70s, and even then, when I was very young and enjoying this, the stars, primarily, were all people from my parents' or my grandparents' eras of entertainment, like almost vaudeville. Some of these, I think, were almost vaudevillian level actors. And of course, and also going all the way back to World War II and things like that. I mean, Bob Hope is in this. George Burns is in this series. And if those names mean nothing to you, and those are some of the biggest names in entertainment in history, well, yeah, that gives you an idea of just how the kind of caliber and the ancient caliber of the guests on this show. To me, yeah, I mean, I know a majority of them, and some of them I've forgotten about. I've forgotten they existed until I looked at the list of episodes and all the guests, and it's pretty dang astounding. Moment Chance, oh, Shields and Yarnell. No, and most people watching this have no idea what those names mean. I barely remember. And I didn't watch those episodes either. I was picky about the episodes I wanted to watch. I chose one from each season. And of course, season 4, I watched the Star Wars one, which has Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, R2-D2 as himself, and Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca without the bandolier strap for some reason. It is one of the most highly acclaimed episodes of the series, even though Mark Hamill is, honestly, this has to be almost more canon than the holiday special. It's more beloved than the holiday special in many ways, because Mark Hamill just gets to ham it up in this thing. He's wearing, by the way, for the Star Wars nerds, he's wearing a Luke Skywalker on Bespin outfit, and honestly, I think this, according to what IMDb's shown me, that episode came out in February of 1980. Empire Strikes Back wasn't due to come out until May. So that was kind of an early look at Luke Skywalker's look for the sequel to the biggest movie in the world. Yes, I saw that the night it aired. And of course, it was an era where if you were not at home in front of the television set at the time that that aired, you missed it. Maybe there was a rerun at some other point, but it wasn't like there was a channel full of reruns. We had ABC, CBS, NBC, and not Fox. Not, I mean, PBS was there. But yeah, it's just, it was quite the do or die situation when it came to watching television. There's no VCRs yet, at least not for the poor people. I mean, maybe there were some for the rich people, but VCRs are going for a couple $1,000s. It was new technology at the time, even to the wealthy. So, so okay, I chose 5 episodes. I chose the very first episode, which had I've already forgotten her name. Juliet Prowse. Juliet Prowse. She's a dancer, and she was the very first guest on the Muppet Show. So it, it just showed the kind of eclectic guests they would have on there. It's not just like, hey, I'm a big name actor or a pop star or anything else. It was a woman who was very popular because she was a great dancer, and I don't remember what else she did. I remember her name. Gorgeous. I just don't recall what else she was known for. The second I watched season 2 episode. Oh, season 2 I watched John Cleese from Monty Python. John Cleese from Monty Python was the guest in season 2 that I chose, and that was just unreal because I just figured the weirdness of Monty Python mixed with the Muppets would make for some very strange things, and it was very odd. It was very, as much as the Muppets is made for adults, it is not something that would be inappropriate for children. So it's definitely not Sesame Street. Nobody's learning anything here. All the jokes are like 1,000 years old, and they are corny as anything. The music is all old show tunes for the most part. It is just some just really cheesy, what some people would call dad jokes these days, but also just stuff that stopped being funny 50 years ago, at least. At this point, it would have been not funny for at least 20 or 30 or whatever. I don't know, but it's funny. It becomes funny because so much of it is not funny. It's a variety show. It's a variety sketch show with music and just wow, like just bad funny comedy. It's a product of its time, as I like to say, and it's not something that, I mean, the Muppet shows that have come since, they've all tried to replicate it in different formats. They've tried to do an office style thing, like a behind the scenes camera following the Muppets around kind of situation. They've tried to do that. That's one of the series also on Disney Plus. I think that's Muppets Now. Not sure. But yeah, they've tried to bring back the Muppets many times, but none have lasted 5 seasons, and none of them were just stood the test of time. Of course, the Muppet movie right here is one of the all-time great films. It just tells their origin story in a sense, and yeah, it's one of my favorite soundtracks as well. That's the actual original soundtrack from 1979, right there, framed on my wall. And that's the other weird thing about this, is that the Muppet movie was made right in the middle of this series. So it started in 76, ended in 81. The Muppet movie came out in 79. That's, or at least, yeah, 79. Yeah, right? Yeah. I just, my brain didn't put that together until now. That was in the middle of that. Okay, third season, Alice Cooper. I chose the Alice Cooper episode just because, just how weird of a choice that was. That was one of the first things I picked that provided a modern day pop star as a guest, as compared to, I mean, they had Elton John in there, they had others that, musicians and things like that, but they weren't stuff that your parents might have, at the time, or parents, or now parents, great grandparents, or whatever, would have seen on in a talkie back in the back in the old 25-cent Nickelodeon, or the 5-cent Nickelodeons, because that's what a Nickelodeon is. It's a nickel. It's the kind of thing that it wasn't World War II era actors as guests. So Alice Cooper, of course, makes it for a very spooky episode. He's actually pretty good in this. He performs at least two of his songs in this. School's Out, of course, and another song which I don't realize is his. I think he did a cover. There's a lot of Alice Cooper in this, where a lot of these shows don't have, a lot of these episodes don't always have sketches that have the guest in them. Alice Cooper's in almost everything. It's kind of weird. And of course, season 4 has the Star Wars with Mark Hamill playing Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker at the same time. Luke Skywalker is all about defeating Empire and all business. He's there to rescue Chewie with R2-D2 and C-3PO in tow. But Mark Hamill is more game to do some show tunes and song and dance and everything else. And Kermit's annoyed by both. So, yeah, it's some good stuff. It's brought back a lot of memories of all the episodes. Like I've said already, of all the episodes that I've seen, of course that one has stuck in my mind the longest. But I had never seen the whole episode since the 70s. Or 80s, sorry, 80s, 1980. I had not seen that episode in 42 years until today. I mean, I've seen pieces of it on YouTube, the Star Wars parts, the people put that up, but never the full episode for 42 years. That's just crazy. So, but it's good fun. Lots of references, of course, Star Wars references. The one thing that annoyed me was there's a little musical number that takes place in Scooter's bedroom where he's playing guitar on the bed, and he has a Mark Hamill signed picture on the wall, and right above it is a picture of a Star Destroyer, but it's upside down. Come on, guys. Frank Oz, freaking Yoda, is one of the guys doing the voices. Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, he's right there. Mark Hamill's there. Somebody use him as reference. I don't know if they were just messing with us or not, but anyway. And then season 5, I chose the series finale, the very last episode, and that is none other than James Bond 007, played by Roger Moore. And there is a ton of James Bond references from beginning until end. And he sings, Roger Moore actually sings a song at the very end, If I Could Talk to the Animals. So, yeah, there's lots of chances for actors and musicians to step outside of their comfort zone and just do something against type, do something a little weird, do something that, especially with Alice Cooper, at the time, everybody sees him as just a creepy weirdo who all the teenagers are all into, but the parents disapprove of. Well, Sam the Eagle comes by his dressing room and says how much of a weirdo he is and how disgusting he is, pretty much voicing tons of parents everywhere. But of course, Alice is like, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. So, yeah, and honestly, there's just a ton of episodes. I have to put this on the list. I can't believe I haven't put it on yet. I'm going to watch every one of them at some point. But yeah, this is a big deal for me. I had all the memories come back. I was trying to do it while working on something else, and I got nothing done. I was pretty much focused in on the show. So, yeah, it's for me, it's good fun. I have younger relatives who do not get it, who do not like the Muppets, and they have never understood it, the appeal. So, and even the Muppets themselves have, when they did one of their later series, one of the themes of the series was, are they even relevant anymore? Does anybody care about the Muppets? Is the Muppets something that anybody appreciates? I think that was also the theme of the second movie. in the modern day. Not the Manhattan one, but the modern day sequel. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of or is it was that the first one with Jason Segel and Amy Adams? Either way, the people who make the Muppets are very aware that they may not be relevant anymore, but they still hold a place in history and in my heart. So let's see what the next episode holds for us, if it has a place in my heart.
472.
472. Maybe. 472. That's pretty far down the line. Well, it doesn't necessarily hold a place in my heart, but it's definitely something I enjoy, or at least a version of it. This is another series. We're going to watch another series. Now, I'm not going to watch 5 episodes of this. As much as I probably will like it, I have no idea. But yeah, Monday is a different kind of day than a Sunday. So we're going to be watching something from the Marvel Universe. It is The Avengers. United They Stand. So, yeah. The Avengers, United They Stand. I think it's obviously an animated series. That's what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.